One of the things that was touched on, and I want to dive in a little bit more, is how do you guys manage success? Like what KPIs? I know, I think with Sarah, you mentioned like you got 109 new customers and that. What are you typically looking at to know, yep, my money's going to good use, this marketing is working? And how long do you let it run before you adjust?
I think that's a double-edged sword. So, again, for the first 3 months, for example, I'll use that. We had the 109 customers. We can gauge that because as new customers who have never pinged, I'm not, again, not the geofence person, but you can see that they've never been to your location before, and you can see when they have started to continue to grow and continue to come to your location, and if their patterns continue, and it all is based off of, I don't know, internet.
So for me, with the ads, in the past, I have been very loose with letting a poor ad run for a long time. But honestly, once your ads are up and running and they've ramped up and you don't see anything trending after about 4 weeks, you can take that down and try another one. Especially after they've ramped up and you can see traffic to them, you can pull them down relatively easy. And in terms of whether or not they're working, if you see conversions off of it, and sometimes it's hard to see the conversions off of it with some of the platforms that we're using right now. You kind of lose sight of the customer once it comes from your ad into your POS system. But now they're working on them, and you can track that customer from your ad to the time that they book the service in your POS system. So it's very, very easy to track now.
I always recommend to store owners too. It depends if you have coin or you're using a card system, and how closely you can track if you brought in a new customer. But
Mhm.
one way that I encourage people to look at it is if you know the average spend of your customer per visit, and you can say, all right, let's assume this customer is going to come 2 or 3 times a month, and I'm going to keep them for at least a year. And then at that point, their lease is going to renew and they may move away. If their lifetime value to me, if they stay a year, is $1,000, is spending $15 towards something to get them worth it? Yes. And so if you are, say, for example, doing some type of event and you're going to spend, $2,000 to host the event, but you bring in 70 new customers times the value of those customers over a year, then it makes sense to spend the money. And I think that sometimes people are hesitant on, should I keep spending money on X, Y, and Z tactic? But if you have a way to figure out, even directionally, is it worth it? Am I getting the return? You can feel a little bit better about making that investment or
Mhm.
continuing that marketing tactic.